This is Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Subscribe for new content notifications. Now, here's Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. You can follow me on Twitter at BackupBradleyAbove and everything that we're talking about here today. Okay, before we get started, I told you guys I'd help you out celebrating your .crypto names. I'm going to go ahead and do that now. Mr. Mo Party has all of the .crypto. It says all of the .crypto. I like that one. Reality Token .crypto. And then here's one that I really like. Custody number 4. .crypto, custody 4 .crypto. I think that's a fantastic name. He also owns custody FOR .crypto. I like that. He actually, what he did is what I do a lot too, is he boxed out the different ways that you could say that same phrase. I think that's also very smart because I do that as well. And I just wanted to remind people, I don't know if what these things ultimately will go for. I know Sex.crypto sold for $90,000, but it's exciting to me because when I look back at the .com era, Insurance.com sold for $35.6 million. This one I'm really excited about. VacationRentals.com sold for $35 million. I'm not saying that these .cryptos will sell for that amount of money, but I do believe there is going to be an enormous value for them personally myself. And I went, because VacationRentals.com sold for $35 million, I bought Beach Vacation Rentals .crypto. So I can't wait to see if that matures into something over time as well. But I want to share and celebrate you guys. Now, as promised, let's go ahead and do the numbers this morning. And the Unstoppable Domains link and the other links that I have, products and services, of which all I use, are in the description box in the comment section. Make sure to check them out. Let's get into this thing. The numbers this morning are not the best. $11,334.56 for Bitcoin. Ethereum is $367.65, and XRP is 24 cents. Drilling down on the numbers right now, the market cap is 10.9 billion plus. 24-hour volume is down about 0.1% at 1.1 billion. The total circulating supply came up again, another 26 million or so. Shout out to Hiding Out Now for that. We are now sitting at 45,248 million plus. Those are your numbers. Now, let's get into this because today it's about where is the value here, right? In a market that's down and a price that's stuck and all of these things, where is the value here? Now, I believe the value can be found in a lot of places, but for today, and the point of today's video, I want to focus on something very specific to the conversation of where the value can be found. And let's go ahead and get started. Shout out to Michael Val 5 Links, and he's talking about Coinbase Custody announced Friday that over the coming months, it plans to support more assets. And he says, and VET? And I'm with him. I like VET a lot, and I hope that Coinbase does decide going forward in the future to add VET to their platform, no doubt about it. So shout out to Michael Val 5 Links and all the researchers, XRP Crypto, Wolf, Bond Crypt, and everyone else who sends great information. Bakkt recorded an all-time high Bitcoin delivery in October, demonstrating a clear spike in institutional demand for BTC. Well, if Bakkt is really Bakkt Bitcoin delivery exposes an institutional frenzy, as they like to say, what do you think's going to happen? You think it's just about the institutions? No, they're taking a position. Look, this stuff goes from the top down. If you want to know who gets to go first in this space, of course, if we're speculators, we've been here. But have we moved the market? I think the answer is obviously no. But the reality here is that institutions know that they got the money to move the market. And not only do they have the money to move the market, they have the customer base to be able to scale this market. That is what is exciting to me. Let's keep it going here. Looking at this one from XRP Crypto Wolf, China's digital currency rolls out for use in Shenzhen gas stations. Citizens can make fuel and retail payments using the digital yuan on a state-backed mobile application, and the feedback has been promising so far. I like this for the reason that, China's not slowing down in what it's doing, and that puts more and more pressure on the U.S. legislative body body, Congress itself, and other regulatory agents, and whatever differences they're having in being able to suss out the regulatory frameworks they need for their different agencies, it's all under the pressure of knowing that no one wants to see China lead this race. And I don't believe China will lead the fourth industrial revolution. You know, you can be leading at a point, but this race ain't over by a long shot. So at the end of the day, you're not the leader yet. And I believe that with the announcement that we covered the other day from the current administration here in the U.S., they've made it very clear that they've taken a stake with blockchain and distributed ledger technology, and going all the way back to 2017 in the Executive Order 13772, it is clear to me that Ripple is involved somewhere deep down the line. Let's keep going here. Cryptocurrency ETFs could soon be a reality now that regulators are actively studying them. SEC Chair Jay Clayton says they are. And here's what's funny about this. He made this announcement the other day, and they issued the no action letter about security tokens, right? But here's the thing. He's come out and reiterated about the ETFs, and they could soon be a reality that you could see security tokens for these things. Now, they have said no, 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 no for so long that I think it's at that point, it's an inflection point where we're about to see it take off. But some of the people that have wanted to create security tokens and do all of these things are still gun shy because they've been hearing no and seeing fines and people be punished for trying to jump ahead of these things. And now that they've got the approval, I think Jay Clayton's had to come back out and really reiterate the point to them. Yes, you can do this. So let's see it and let's see what you got, right? So keep your eye on this, because security tokens and products like ETFs that will be securities and tokenized and things of the nature are going to be an enormous amount of money, an enormous part of the traded world. Because the reality is all of the traditional world, stock markets, ETFs, ETNs, call options, swaps, puts, commodity trades, everything at some point is going to be tokenized and turned into a digital transaction on distributed ledger technology. I firmly believe that in great part, Ripple, the ILP, and the XRP ledger and the XRP token will have a great part and hand in making all of that happen, as well as many other things. But for today, that's what we're focused on. Let's look at this. World Economic Forum. It's not just about the U.S. The World Economic Forum has teamed up with the Global Blockchains Business Council, an advocacy group, to assess the current state of blockchain technology. Well, I think we know where they stand on it. They actually wrote the framework for a policy toolmaker kit for central bank digital currencies for all the respective countries at the most recent, last January's World Economic Forum in Davos, of which Brad Garlinghouse attended. And obviously they recommended within that policy framework that XRP could be used as settlement for inter and intrabank settlement. And then Sheila Warren, head of blockchain at the World Economic Forum, lo and behold, she ends up being a keynote speaker at Swell. So we keep an eye on that as well. Now, here's another big one I've been talking about too, and it's happening right now. IMF annual meeting, 12th through the 18th, cross-border payments is a vision for the future. Enhancing cross-border payments is an important global policy. They will discuss solutions to enhance cross-border payments and the benefits of cross-border use of digital currencies. They're not beating around the bush here. Is exactly why they're having this meeting and discussion. Well, they have an array of topics. This is one of them, and Jerome Powell from the Federal Reserve will be a part of it. We will keep an eye on that one. So, moving on, while all of this is taking place, what do we see? Do we see people running away from Ripple? Do we see people running away from RippleNet? No. In fact, you see more and more banks, entities, financial institutions, small, medium enterprises adopting or joining forces and partnering up with Ripple. And that's exactly what you continue to see here. And these are the fundamentals that I look for. And please know, I am not selling a used car. I'm not trying to convince anyone. There's a reason that my show is called Digital Perspectives. They're my perspectives, sometimes your perspectives, sometimes a guest's perspectives, right? And we speculate about fundamental news that we're talking about here, and then we speculate upon that as well. So make sure we just caveat that as we move through the material here. Ripple partnered with one of the largest banks in Vietnam, Orient Commercial Joint Stock Bank, which has $4.6 billion worth of assets under management, is now a part of Ripple's RippleNet network. It just keeps getting bigger. Now, I wanted to point this out because I did touch on this the other day, that central banks like Canada, Bank of Canada, have developed a central bank digital currency, and they talk about how it was the catalyst was basically the idea of Libra, right? And they created their own central bank digital currency in lieu of the idea of Libra. And knowing that this new financial market infrastructure is going to happen, what's interesting about this is that we also see that with Sweden's central bank governor is going all in on digital currency. He said there will be a digital currency and push for Sweden's government to review the concept of legal tender and the legality of an e-krona to prepare Riksbank for digital future. Now, what's interesting about Bank of Canada and the bank in Sweden, Riksbank, is that they're both happen to be partners in this innovation hub that was created by the Bank of International Settlements, as well as the Federal Reserve Bank in New York. What's interesting here, because you can see Bank of Canada right here, and then you could just highlighting this, right? Riksbank here, you can see they're here. You know, what I'm showing you this for is because, do you think just the two of those in this innovation hub are going to be developing CBDCs? Just the two. They belong to this innovation hub of these huge central banks, but just two of these are going to develop CBDCs? Well, of course not. Of course not. It would be robotic to think so, wouldn't it? So the reality here is that everybody's going to develop a CBDC. Now, whether they all get it released on the same day is another matter, because the reality here is we also know even banks that are not participating in the Innovation Hub, like the Bahamas, is planning to make its sand dollar release, the digital currency available to global audience. The country is eyeing October 20th in 3 days for the possible launch of the sand dollar. Digital currency will entail API cardless onboarding. Now, to me, this is exciting because I see the stablecoin world, the central bank digital currency world, as these little cars that become the ability to drive on to the new financial market infrastructure, this brand new highway, right? That's how I see that. And then when you look at like the recent Swell conference, and they talked about the flywheel, Swell 2019, Swell 2020, they talk about where they were. And here and I don't know if you could see this very well. Let me actually see if I can open this up for you, because they talked about being in like stage 3 or 4 in between that in 2019 and where they are now. So let me just actually see if I can find that for you and pull this picture up really quickly, because I think I can. And I'm pretty sure that I can. So let me do this really quickly here. Okay. So let me open this up for you, and then let's just zoom in on this picture here and give you an ability to see this a little better. Now, I know it's a little blurry. It's not the best picture. But the reality is last year they had themselves right about here, where it was moving to production, building trust and demand on the flywheel. Now they're right here. They're between 5 and 6 and almost in a complete cycle, where 5 and 6 become expediting move to go live and boosting with digital assets. Here's where we are. We've come from here to here in 1 year. Now, if you haven't seen the flywheel theory, which goes much deeper than what we're talking about here, the flywheel theory on what Ripple's talked about, Naveen Gupta and others at Ripple have talked about, I highly suggest you type that in my search box and go check that out. Now, this is really what it's all about. If you look at this superhighway picture here, the superhighway is what? The ILP and the XRP ledger. The ability to have the interoperability that no matter what kind of car you happen to have, whether it be a stable coin, whether it be a CBDC, right, or a Bitcoin or XRP or some other asset, it doesn't matter. What matters is with the interoperability, you could drive any kind of car on the superhighway, right? And that's why we see the demand happening for central banks to create their own digital dollars. because they know that there is a market infrastructure already built for them to drive that car onto. And that, to me, is where we are today. There's no question about it. Now, that's going to do it for me. Guys, make sure you hit the like and subscribe. And if you have not done it yet, go to Link2, download the free app, register for free. I know you have to be an accredited investor to be able to buy those private equity SPVs. But the reality here is, you do not have to be an accredited investor to belong to this community, and there's a lot of great resources and really great people inside of this community. So I'm telling you right now, don't miss this lunch and learn with me and Miguel Villas, now the COO of Link2, formerly head of XRP markets for Ripple, and one hell of a guy. And I'll tell you something, everybody there is, and they're really interested in making it as all-inclusive as they possibly can, because the reality is that the rules that are there for accredited investor are there because of the SEC, not because of Link2. So just understand that. Make sure you go get that app. It's a great app, and it's a great way to monitor what venture capitalists are doing with their money and their investments in this space right now. So we'll see you at that event, and don't forget to hit the like and subscribe. Check the links in the comment section and the description box. If you have something you want or need, it's there for you. And I hope all of you have a great weekend. We'll catch all of you on the next one.